Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take content that you're looking at, videos, articles, you name it, and really dig into the key ideas.
Yeah, we try to pull out the most interesting bits.
Exactly. So today we're diving into a YouTube video. It's from the Dua Allen channel, and the title is Anklubunthulbutet Ati Okias.
Which, for those who don't speak Arabic, translates roughly to something like the easiest and greatest 3 actions to win the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah.
Right. And these first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah are, well, they're a really significant time in the Islamic calendar.
Hugely significant. So our mission here is to unpack her advice. How can we, make the most of these days, even if life is incredibly busy?
She zeroes in on 3 main actions, and that's what we're going to explore. See what makes her take on it so practical and valuable.
Sounds good. Where do we start?
Okay, first up, the power of remembrance. Dhikr, or Dayla. She kicks off by saying how crucial these 10 days are, that ignoring them is a big missed opportunity.
Yeah, she really emphasizes that, and that consistent, thoughtful remembrance. It can genuinely lift your faith.
What stood out to you when she talked about dhikr?
Well, it wasn't just about doing it, but doing it consciously. It's not like rattling off phrases. It's about understanding the meaning, letting it actually, sink in.
Makes sense.
And she mentions the practical side too, like setting up a routine for morning and evening remembrance.
Adkar as-sabah wal-masa.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Even setting reminders on your phone. It shows that small, consistent steps are key. They can really make a difference to your spiritual state.
Then she brings in this concept, remembrance that renews faith. Fusha, uthusha, usa.
Adkar mujadida aliman.
Yeah. These specific ones that, touch on the really core ideas of Islam. They make you stop and think about your fundamental beliefs.
Which is so important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because life gets busy. You kind of go on autopilot sometimes. So this idea of intentionally reconnecting with why you believe through these powerful words, it's insightful. It's like checking your foundations.
How does focusing on those basics actually reshape things for us?
Well, it grounds you, right? It reminds you what it's all built on. She gives some really potent examples. First, Sayyid al-Istighfar.
Esesia Sotina, the chief of forgiveness.
Exactly.
And she recites it beautifully. What does this name share? Das Kalamsi, that is my pass.
Meta, which you're going to get by Okantu or Akantu, say, Yehanam 5 select to it on. And the meaning behind it, acknowledging Allah as the only Lord, that you're his servant committed to his path as best you can.
Seeking refuge from your own mistakes.
Recognizing his blessings, admitting your faults, and asking for forgiveness because only he can truly forgive. It's incredibly comprehensive and humbling. It really is. And the virtue attached to saying it with real sincerity, it's immense. The tradition says if you say it with conviction during the day and die before evening, or at night and die before morning,
you enter paradise.
Right, which just highlights the incredible power packed into these words when you truly mean them. It's not just recitation, it's transformation.
Then she moves to another one, a praise. All praise is yours. You are the Lord of the heavens and the earth and everything in them. All praise is yours. You are the sustainer of the heavens and the earth and everything in them.
It's just vast. It really makes you contemplate the scale of everything and how he upholds it all, puts things in perspective,
Absolutely, total dependence on him.
And then there's Kogi Kike.
Oh Allah, you are the truth.
Yeah, and she notes the longer version affirms the truth of Allah, his word, his promise, the hour, paradise, hell, the unseen realities.
It really pushes you to ask, am I just saying this or am I really reflecting on what it means?
That's the core point, isn't it? Internalizing it. And she gives one more example for sleep. The Sixeo Sikkim?
Sexen Cho Hesken Yash, Saxon Diu comes back. Saxonic rests this, like Hari Huan Alois Kixindi.
Which translates to something like, O Allah, I submit myself to you, turn my face to you, and trust my affairs to you, rely on you, out of hope and fear of you. There's no refuge or escape from you except to you.
Wow. That complete surrender just before sleep, a time you have no control, that's powerful trust.
It really is. So her whole point with remembrance isn't just ticking a box for reward.
No, it's about the meaning. Each word can elevate your faith if you actually think about it.
And she even points people to another video she made, diving deeper into the meanings, which is helpful.
Okay, so takeaway number 1. Prioritize dhikr, especially the reflective kind that connects you to core beliefs. Got it. What's the second action?
The second one is tutin sha'arillah, magnifying the sacred things of Allah.
Okay, magnifying the sacred. How does that translate into action during these 10 days?
Well, she says our actions during this time really show our true reverence. We know good deeds get extra reward, right?
Yeah, that's well known.
But she flips it too. The consequences for wrongdoing are also heavier during this sacred time.
Ah, that's a crucial point.
So truly magnifying the sacred means actively trying not to disobey, even small things. It's about respecting the sanctity of the time itself.
So increased mindfulness.
Exactly. And if you do slip up, seeking forgiveness immediately is even more important.
She also mentioned avoiding doubtful matters, things you're not sure are okay.
Doing that out of devotion, just to be extra careful during these blessed days. It shows you really want to prioritize pleasing God.
It's like being an extra careful guest, right? You respect the host's house rules even more.
That's a perfect analogy. And she links it to the Qur'an, praising those who listen and follow the best of what they hear.
So by being extra cautious in our conduct now,
we're embodying that principle. What I found really insightful was how she framed avoiding sins and doubtful things as a high form of worship in itself.
How so?
Because you're magnifying Allah by respecting what He made sacred. It's not just about adding good deeds, but also about actively protecting the sanctity of the time through your conduct.
That adds a whole other layer. It's about the quality of your actions and awareness, not just quantity. Okay, remembrance, magnifying the sacred. What's the third one?
The third is bidawailallah, basically busying yourself with calling others to good.
Interesting. How does that fit in, especially for busy people?
She calls it a smart solution. Because look, you might not have time for every possible act of worship yourself.
Right, that's a common challenge.
But if you kindly share something good you learned, or gently remind someone, or encourage positive actions during these 10 days, you can still earn immense rewards.
Ah, like multiplying the good.
Exactly. And she gives really down-to-earth examples.
Like what?
Like maybe gently reminding someone doing something wrong about how special these days are. Yeah. Not judging, just reminding.
Okay.
Or even offering kids a sweet treat if they remember Allah. Little things that foster a positive environment of remembrance and good deeds around you.
That makes it feel very accessible.
Totally. And she mentions a specific program too, Skia Alash, which is doing in Sarnia.
That's that.
She described it as an accessible but impactful program specifically for these 10 days. It runs the whole period, offers activities, resources. She even says there's a link in the comments.
So providing practical tools, not just ideas.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Which makes her advice feel very actionable.
She also made a point about people with more time, didn't she?
Oh, yeah. She was clear this isn't an excuse not to do other things if you do have time. Those people have a great opportunity to do all the remembrance, the extra prayers, charity, everything.
It's about maximizing whatever capacity you have.
Precisely. And she also mentioned linking to 2 more videos in the comments, one with a daily routine for the 10 days and another on mistakes to avoid, encouraging people to watch and share.
That sharing part seems key to this third point.
It really is. It ties back to the idea that even if you can't do everything personally, facilitating good for others lets you share in that reward. It's very community focused.
Right. Before wrapping up, she had a few concluding words.
Yeah, she briefly mentioned Isikiyaki the ECTS. We are the girls of the Quran, we have risen through it, in the Dar Aisha Al-Khaliliya Learning Center.
And then the tone shifted.
It did. She asked for prayers for Yaqeen, a Hafida, a memorizer of the Quran from Gaza who was killed, described her as inspiring.
That's incredibly sobering.
Yes. She acknowledged the pain of that news and, sadly, the many similar stories from Gaza. It was a very human moment.
Bringing the wider world into focus.
And she ended with a prayer for the Muslim Ummah's strength and dignity and protection from failure. It connects the personal spiritual effort during these days to the bigger picture.
A powerful reminder. Okay, so let's just quickly recap the 3 main takeaways from this deep dive into Dua Allen's advice.
Sure. First, really prioritize remembrance, dhikr, especially the kind that makes you reflect and deepens your faith.
Second, Magnify the sacred tahim sha'arila by being super mindful of your actions, avoiding sins, even small ones, and seeking forgiveness quickly. Respect the time.
And third, be a caller to good dawah. Share beneficial knowledge. Gently remind others. Encourage positive actions in whatever way you can, especially if your own time for other acts is limited.
And the underlying message seems to be that even small, consistent efforts done with sincere intention can bring huge spiritual benefits, particularly in these 10 days.
Absolutely. Sincerity is key.
Definitely. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening to reflect on, building on that theme of intention.
Go for it.
Given how much emphasis there was on sincerity and the meaning behind actions, how might consciously focusing on the why, the intention behind our everyday actions, not just during these 10 days, but always, how might that transform our entire experience and connection to something greater?
That's a deep question.
Whoa.
Definitely something to ponder as we go through these special days and beyond.
For sure. Well, that brings us to the end of this deep dive. Until next time.